My beautiful coworker invited me to a mysterious, exclusive group. It was full of beautiful women offering perks, including herself. The catch? To get a perk, you had to offer one of your own. Ethan, I'm sending you an invite to something. I guarantee you won't be able to say no. The Slack message from Chloe Carter, my gorgeous coworker, popped up on my screen. Attached was an invitation link to a private Discord server. I glanced at the server name, The Exchange. What is this, some kind of crypto trading group? I messaged back. Something like that, she replied, but way more exciting than chasing the next pump and dump. Join, and I'll find you after work. I looked up from my monitor. Chloe was at her desk across the open plan office, her long hair falling over her shoulder as she glanced up and gave me a soft, knowing smile. I'd had a crush on her for the better part of a year, asking her out a few times with no success. An unsolicited invitation paired with that smile? I was powerless. I clicked the link and joined the server. A bot immediately sent me a direct message. Welcome to the Exchange. Please read the hashtag Rules and Regulations channel. Perks may be exchanged between members. There are no limits on the number of exchanges, but all agreed-upon exchanges must be completed. Failure to comply will result in penalties. I was confused. Perks? Exchanges? It sounded like corporate jargon for a hookup app. Then I looked at the member list and their roles. Amber, physical perk. Heather, physical perk. Rhino, enforcement perk. The strange tags only deepened my confusion. I clicked on the rules channel to figure out what the hell this was all about. Before I could even read the first rule, I got a friend request on Discord from the user named Amber. I hesitated for a second, then accepted. Her message came through instantly. So, what kind of perk are you bringing to the table, she asked. I saw you're new. I'm still trying to figure that out. What exactly is a physical perk? I typed back, cutting straight to the chase. It's exactly what it sounds like, sweetie, she replied. If you have a perk I can use, we can make a trade. One exchange gets you one night with me. No limits. So that's what it was. My mind reeled. The group Chloe invited me to. Was this? Right. Well, I haven't decided on my perk yet, I said, trying to back out gracefully. No worries, she wrote back, adding a winking emoji. When you figure out, let me know. I'd love to be your first trade. I was about to go back to the rules when another friend request came in. This one was from a guy. His username was Rhino. I provide a service. His message read, I can make things happen. Need a problem to go away? Need a certain someone to see things your way? I can help. His tag was enforcement perk. I could guess what that meant. So, what do you have to offer? Still figuring out the rules. I replied, declining his request. I'll let you know when I'm set up. Finally, I read the rules. The concept was simple. Every member offers a perk, a skill or asset they possess, to trade with other members. After completing 10 trades and earning 10 tokens, a member could gain access to the inner circle. An inner circle? This was getting stranger. What was the point of all this? And why did Chloe pull me into it? After work, Chloe was waiting for me by the lobby doors as promised. When I opened my mouth to ask her a dozen questions, she put a finger to her lips, silencing me. I nodded, and we walked out of the office building and down the block to a quiet park. Okay, what is that group? I finally asked. I'm totally lost, and I couldn't find you in the member list. Didn't you say you invited me? I'm there, she said, her eyes sparkling with amusement. I'm just using a different account. A little anonymity goes a long way. Why don't you guess who I am? If you get it right, maybe I'll give you a perk. Let me guess, your perk is a physical perk too? I said, a little more cynically than I intended. Seems like that's the main currency in there. For some, maybe, she shrugged. A girl's body is often her most valued asset, or so they think. But no, that's not mine. I won't tell you what it is, that would spoil the fun. As for you, you should list your actual talent. You're a strategy perk. My strategy perk. You're a strategist, Ethan. The best one in our agency. All those viral campaigns you've designed. That's a valuable skill. Trust me, some of the women in that group would kill for your kind of creative thinking. I wasn't sure what she was planning, but I trusted her. All right, I'll do it. Back in my apartment, I edited my profile, adding the tag strategy perk to my name. Almost immediately, the server's moderator messaged me. Your profile says your perk is strategy. What do you do professionally, he asked. I'm a creative strategist at an advertising agency, I replied. I've got a solid reputation in the local industry. Good, the moderator said. That's a legitimate perk. You have a chance at making it to the inner circle. Have fun in the exchange. The whole thing felt like some kind of live-action role-playing game. It all seemed so arbitrary. What were the real consequences if you promised a perk and didn't deliver? Could someone really just use this system to scam their way into sleeping with a bunch of women? And what did he mean my perk had a chance of getting me into the inner circle? The whole server gave off a weird, artificial vibe, like I was interacting with a bunch of NPCs. A new message popped up. It was Amber again. "I saw your tag," she wrote. "A strategy perk. What kind of strategy are we talking about? I need a new personal brand." "I'm in advertising," I explained. "I build creative campaigns for brands. You know that Golden Retriever's first road trip ad for Subaru? Not mine, but that's the world I live in." "Oh, advertising," she replied, her interest visibly deflating through the text. "Okay, well, I guess I don't need that right now." I considered changing my tag to something more specific, like ad campaign strategist, but that felt like handing out a business card at a weird, secret sex club. It was too awkward. I scrolled through the member list again, my mind still on Chloe. If Amber wasn't her, then who was? The group had over 100 members, about 60% of them women. Of those 80 or so women, at least 60 were listed with a physical perk. That left less than 20 women with unique perks. I quickly narrowed it down to 3 possibilities. One was a user named The Connector, whose perk was Network Perk. She claimed to know all sorts of influential and unusual people in Austin. Another was Valkyrie, a girl from a local martial arts gym. Her perk was Self-Defense Perk. The last one, and the one my gut told me was right, was a user named Oracle. Her perk was Intel Perk. I clicked on Oracle's profile and sent a message. "Should we reintroduce ourselves, Chloe?" The reply came a moment later. You guessed it, followed by, "See you after work." We met at a quiet cocktail lounge downtown. "All right, enough with the mystery," I said as we settled into a booth. "What's this all about? And Intel Perk? What kind of intel?" "Don't worry about my perk for now," she said, taking a sip of her drink. "Listen, when women with the physical perk tag want to trade with you, just do it. They're all attractive, and you've been flying solo for a while. Who knows? Maybe you'll find someone you click with." I stared at her. "You want me to find a girlfriend from a group of women who trade their bodies for favors? Are you trying to help me or ruin my life?" "Okay, maybe not wife material," she conceded with a laugh. "Just have some fun. The main goal is to get 10 tokens so you can get into the inner circle. That's where the real game is. It's a place you can't even imagine." She leaned in closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Let's make our first trade tonight. I'll give you a piece of real intel, and in return," she trailed off, a sly grin spreading across her face. "So that's the goal," I said, finally understanding. "Everyone's just grinding to get into this inner circle." "Exactly," she said. "And if you want to know more, we can discuss it after we finish our drinks." I understood her meaning perfectly. After we left the bar, we went back to my place. And after our exchange, I finally got some answers about the inner circle. In return, I helped her craft an intriguing story for her Intel persona, something that immediately boosted her reputation on the server. My own reputation got a bump as well. Several women messaged me, wanting me to help them strategize a unique angle to make them more competitive. Amber was the first to set up a meeting. "Hey there," she said, greeting me at a coffee shop. She was even more beautiful in person, tall and flawlessly put together. "Hey," I replied, feeling a strange sense of déjà vu. "You look familiar. The server is mostly local to Austin, right?" I asked. "I think so. I haven't met many people from it in person." "You're only the second," she said. "Making trades isn't as easy as it sounds. The exchange has to be balanced. What you did for Oracle was a real, bona fide trade. You gave her a great story, and she gave you, well, intel. Now everyone wants to know what she knows. She'll probably hit 10 tokens in no time." Amber sighed, a hint of envy in her voice. "I wish it were that easy for me. I really want to get into the inner circle, but I don't have any special skills. People think offering your body is easy. Just lie back and you're done. But it's complicated. A lot of guys aren't interested, and some are just plain creeps." "Why wouldn't they be interested?" I asked, genuinely curious. A woman who looked like her could have most men she wanted. "Well, you don't need to know the details," she said, quickly changing the subject. "Just help me come up with a better angle. I need to attract more trades. If you can help me, I'll make sure you're very, very satisfied. And that's an open invitation anytime you want. Her voice was soft and seductive. All right, I'll see what I can do, I nodded. I asked her a series of questions, learning about her personality, her goals, and the kinds of clients she was trying to attract. The more I thought about it, the harder the problem seemed. Amber was gorgeous, but her perk was a commodity. There were 60 other women on the server offering the exact same thing. In a marketplace where the buyers had their own ulterior motives beyond just sex, her supply far outstripped the demand. This is tough, I admitted. Your appeal is too generic. You need a unique selling proposition, unless. I studied her, try to find something, anything of value beyond her looks. Unless what? She asked, leaning forward eagerly. Unless you change your entire business model, I said. You know what my business is? She asked, her brow furrowing. I have a pretty good idea. You're sugar baby, right? And you want to get into the inner circle to upgrade your life, find a real whale. Her guarded expression softened into one of surprise. I'd pieced it together from her comments. She was being kept by a man who was merely well off, the owner of a small company, not the kind of wealth she truly aspired to. The inner circle represented a gateway to that world, a place where she could get advice from true experts. You're not wrong, she admitted. I want to get guidance from people who've really made it. But it's a competition, I pointed out. Everyone is fighting for the same 10 tokens. If it were easy, everyone would just trade back and forth until they all got in. The system is designed to be a filter. This is my 1 token on the line, to trade for your 1 token. I knew the rules. If my strategy for her failed, I wouldn't get her token. So you have to pivot, I said, an idea forming. Stop selling your body. Start selling your expertise. Teach other women how to be successful sugar babies. Teach men how to treat them. Monetize your knowledge, not just your availability. Create value beyond the physical. A flicker of understanding lit up her eyes. You're right. I need to completely change my approach. Thank you, Ethan. She was so happy she leaned across the table and gave me a firm kiss. Tonight, I promise you won't be disappointed, she whispered. She was true to her word. The next day, after our exchange was verified by the moderator, 1 token appeared in my account. But my total was still 1. I traded my first one to Chloe. Amber immediately rebranded herself on the server. Her new strategy was a hit. She made several successful trades, and the members she helped, having gotten what they wanted, left the group, their own tokens depleted. Soon, my second client reached out. Her name was Heather. I saw what you did for Amber, she wrote. I need your help too. We agreed to meet. When I saw her, I was stunned. Heather, from Northwood High. It was my high school crush. The girl every guy, including me, had been obsessed with. I didn't expect to see you here either, Ethan, she said, a little embarrassed. And I can't believe how much you've helped people. Your reputation is growing. I want you to do the same for me. Of course, I said, trying to keep my composure. I began asking her about her situation. It was worse than I'd imagined. Despite her looks, her life had unraveled after high school. A failed marriage and a collapsed business had left her in a desperate place. She saw the inner circle as a last-ditch effort to get her career back on track. After hearing her story, I thought for a long time. This was a much bigger challenge. It's going to be very difficult, I finally said. I can't guarantee any results. Then let's not think about it for now, she said with a forced smile. Let's just have some fun. Maybe you'll get inspired afterward. I shook my head. If I slept with her and failed to come up with a viable plan, the rules stipulated that I would owe her a token. I couldn't afford that. Seriously? You won't even risk 1 token for me? She pouted, a flicker of her old popular girl charm surfacing. It was clear she needed that token badly. You need to change your outlook, I said, finally landing on a strategy. That's the plan. Change your narrative. Stop being the victim. Stop trying to win sympathy. I'm not, she protested. Being a little vulnerable just makes people want to take care of you. It was a tactic that had clearly worked for her in the past. I'm not saying you need to project some strong, independent woman persona either, I continued. Just be normal. Live your life authentically. I guarantee you'll attract the right kind of person. Is that a strategy or a fortune cookie? She scoffed, clearly unimpressed. If you trust me, you'll do it, I said. You don't have to give me your token now. Give it to me when it works. She was quiet for a moment, then nodded. Okay, I'll trust you. One last time. She gave me a sly look. So, are you still going to claim your side of the trade? Rules are rules, I said with a smile. I delivered the strategy. What happened next was for us. Heather was captivating, a woman whose confidence had been bruised but not broken. Afterward, she left and followed my advice. A few weeks later, she messaged me. You're a genius. I met someone great. Then, a notification from the server. Under the moderator's supervision, Heather had transferred 2 tokens to me before leaving the exchange for good. I now had 3 tokens. It had taken me over a month. Getting to 10 seemed like a monumental task. I started to wonder what was so special about the inner circle that people would go through all this. Just as I was thinking about it, Chloe messaged me again. Ethan, how many tokens do you have? I'm at 6. Just 4 more to go. I was wondering, could you give me yours? She sent the message with a pleading emoji. I'll be your girlfriend. For real. If you give me your tokens. I was taken aback. I only have 3. Oh, only 3. I thought you'd have more by now. She sounded disappointed. I got my first 6 because of the strategy you gave me, but now the trades have dried up. This game is so much harder than it looks. Nobody from our server has made it to the inner circle yet. That's how hard it is. She shifted her tone. But you still have a shot. Keep going. Get 2 more, and I'll do anything you want. Can we even trade tokens like that? I asked. Isn't that against the rules? Otherwise, a rich guy could just buy his way in. There are loopholes, she said vaguely. I'll show you how when the time comes. All right then, I said, but a seed of doubt was planted in my mind. For the proud, aloof Chloe to offer herself up for digital tokens. What was her real motive? What was in that inner circle that was worth all this? My reputation on the server continued to grow. Following my successes with Amber and Heather, 2 more women approached me. Their stories were similar. They were stuck and saw the inner circle as their only way out. I spent hours with each of them crafting detailed, personalized life plans. After their new strategies proved successful, they both gratefully transferred their tokens to me and left the group. I was now sitting on 5 tokens. That night, Chloe showed up at my apartment with a suitcase. I'm moving in, she announced, dropping her bag on the floor and draping herself over me on the couch. From now on, I'm your girlfriend. What are you? You have 5 tokens now, she said, cutting me off. Everyone on the server is talking about it. Give them to me. It's enough to get me into the inner circle. Give them to you how? I asked. I was more interested in the women I was meeting than the inner circle itself, but Chloe was the one I was truly interested in. It's easy, she explained. I'll change my perk to physical perk. We live together as a couple. Every 2 weeks, the moderator verifies the arrangement, and you award me a token. In 10 weeks, you'll have transferred all 5 of your tokens to me. 10 weeks as my boyfriend. What do you say? 10 weeks for 5 tokens. I'm amused. You're really willing to do that. I paused, then made a counteroffer. Okay, but what happens after 10 weeks? You get the tokens and break up with me. She hesitated. After the 10 weeks are up, and I've given you the tokens, you stay with me for 1 more month. No tokens involved. Chloe frowned, clearly not loving the idea. But after a long moment, she agreed. Deal. For the next 2 months, we lived together. We even made it official at work. But I noticed something strange. A few of my coworkers gave me odd looks of pity. Ethan, you, and Chloe. One of them, a guy named Mark, finally pulled me aside. Are you sure that's a good idea? I was confused. What's wrong with it? We're not related. It's not that, he said, lowering his voice. Don't you know about her past? Her past. I had known Chloe for over a year, but I'd never asked about her life before the agency. A cold dread washed over me. Was she sick? Did I need to get tested? What about her past? I pressed. Look, it's not my place to say, Mark said, shaking his head. Just be careful. You two are not a good match. He wouldn't say more, leaving me with a knot of anxiety in my stomach. I got myself checked out. Everything was fine. I found no evidence of anything wrong with Chloe either. Maybe Mark was just jealous. Chloe was beautiful. Plenty of guys at the office were probably bitter. The 10 weeks flew by. I transferred the last of my 5 tokens to her. Thank you, she said, tears of joy streaming down her face as she saw the 10 tokens in her account. I finally did it. She hugged me, sobbing with relief. So you can get into the inner circle now, I said, holding her. What happens next? Are you still going to be with me? After 2 months of living together, my feelings for her had deepened into something real. I couldn't imagine her leaving. Maybe, she said, her expression turning serious. But first, I have to save someone. Save someone. Soon after, she notified the moderator that she had acquired 10 tokens and arranged an in-person meeting. A day later, the moderator posted a server-wide announcement. The first member had reached the inner circle. The exchange had fulfilled its purpose. It was being shut down. The next day, Chloe was gone. She just vanished. No note, no text. She took her tokens and disappeared. My heart sank. I spent the next 2 days and a daze, haunted by the thought that she was gone for good. On the third day, she came back. She stumbled into my apartment, her face pale and tear-streaked, looking like she had been through hell. "Damn it, bastards!" she screamed, collapsing into my arms. "Liars! It was all a lie." "What happened? What's wrong?" I asked, holding her tight. "The stupid inner circle. It's a sham. All of it," she cried. I got in, and I told them I wanted to save my brother. But they said they couldn't do it. Save your brother? I was lost. Yes, my brother. He went to prison for me, sentenced to 10 years. I wanted to get him out early, she sobbed. And they couldn't do anything. Something clicked in my head, a suspicion forming from Mark's warning and Chloe's desperation. "Was it your brother, Chloe?" I asked softly. "Or your ex-boyfriend?" She froze, pulling back to look at me, her lips trembling. He was my ex-boyfriend." She paused. "No, not anymore. He is now," I said, gently wiping a tear from her cheek. "Maybe," she whispered, burying her face in my chest and starting to cry again. And in that moment, I understood everything. The exchange, the inner circle, it was just some elaborate game, an entertainment for its anonymous creators. It wasn't all-powerful. Chloe had started out using me as a tool to get what she desperately wanted. But now, the game was over, and she was my girlfriend.